Hey everybody, this is Dan Jurek and I'm with Bridgette Mouton. Hi Bridgette.
Hello.
And today's a little different. We're wanting to talk about a wellness pod for women that Bridgette is going to be leading and hosting, and wanting to invite those of you women who think this may be a good experience for you to be a part of it. So um, I'll kind of give us a little bit of a quick intro to it, and then you and I can kind of break it apart. But this is going to be a wellness pod for women who are actively healing and recovering. Um, and our thought was to put a wellness pod together, which is another way to say support group, but it's really a wellness pod, a group of people together. And maybe that's where I kick off introducing it to you or handing it over to you, Bridgette. And
Sure.
how did this come about in your dreaming?
Well, I think that, over the past, 3 years or so, we've really begun shifting healing work into the sphere of wellness, right? And my goal is to be able to support women who are wanting to really integrate some of the things that they've been actively working through to gain just more stress resilience, begin supporting more healing, really stepping into their wellness.
Right. And a pod also kind of illustrates a micro community.
That's right. That's right. So, these wellness pods is sort of born out of all of the seclusion, the isolation that we've all endured over the past years, right? Like wanting to create more and more community where we can do what we were designed to do, which is heal in community.
Right. So the other piece that I'd love folks to hear from you about is just those highlighted pieces of your background,
Sure.
your professional background, your extensive training in MNRI, what that is, because it really weaves itself directly into this, doesn't it?
Of course, yes.
So,
I've been a registered nurse now for 18 years.
Right.
Began my career in intensive care units and sort of stumbled upon Dr. Maskatova's body of work looking for solutions for my own family, right? And so Dr. Maskatova's complete life work is all about engaging and optimizing our wellness potential. Whether we're struggling and moving through trauma, whether we're post trauma, whether it's a medical diagnosis, whether we've got a genetic something, but
severe life event.
Severe life events. That's true too. Mm-hmm. Child loss. Even, we are talking about this. One of the buzzwords is that great resignation, right? What if your great resignation wasn't exactly what you dreamed of, right? What if it hasn't all rolled out the way you thought it would, right? So all of those things, maybe from the workplace to retirement, maybe from a really dysfunctional marriage to divorce and learning to be single.
So what you're really, and I know this, but I'm going to kind of articulate, and you can maybe explain a little more. You've come from this medical model of healing,
right,
as a nurse, and this wellness model of MNRI,
yes,
right, which is about healing, and your role, and then what we're doing here at PAX Renewal Center is a wellness approach,
yes,
as opposed to focusing on the illness or the
right.
dis-ease. And so this has really been something part of your integrated life journey, not just professionally, but personally, because you were looking for something for your own family.
That's right.
That can help move the process of life stuff around and through.
Yeah, like for me personally, we've always had professionals to step in and support us when needed.
Mhm.
We see both traditional doctors and integrative professionals, but and
And
there's always gaps to be filled, right? And for me, MNRI has filled many of those gaps and creating sort of the bridge between what's done in the office space, right, in the traditional setting, and moving into the embodiment of, right? And so I love the way you languaged it earlier, moving sort of from darkness to light, right? Moving out of the big T trauma.
into
Yeah.
maybe the healings from the little T's.
That's it. That's it.
So this wellness pod is for women ages 26 and up, and we'll talk more about how they can become a part of it. But I want you to kind of give us an idea of what they can expect, what women can expect in these pods. We are going to do it on a Monday night. We'll do it for about an hour and a half, or you'll lead it for an hour and a half. But what can they expect?
Sure. So you enrolling into this wellness pod and this entire wellness perspective, right? We want to provide support. We want to infuse psycho-ed for sure. We want
helping people understand the process of healing and
Sure.
recovery.
Right.
Psycho-ed.
Giving the information for the current here and now, wherever you are in the process of healing, right? Just giving some of that background, infusing movement, which will be all centered around Dr. Mascatova's post-trauma protocols, which was developed years ago after the Newtown shooting. So we've got a whole lot of evidence-based practice infused into these pods. Lots of encouragement.
And the movement's a gentle movement, right?
Oh, sure. This does not require any extreme flexibility, although you will gain neuroplasticity doing them. You will get that.
And then you're also going to be offering just kind of a whole support system of help too.
That's right. That's right. So one of the really cool things about the way we are growing and developing the practice models here is that we are beginning to step into the spaces between what we see as traditional progress towards healing. And that's what this pod will be. It'll be sort of a supplement to your current therapeutic care plan.
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is, whether you're doing one-on-one, whether you're one that likes to go off on retreat settings, whatever your current plan is, maybe you're just getting introduced to a new medication to help with an underlying diagnosis. Whatever your plan is, we want to step in and provide the help and support to bridge those gaps. Yeah.
And I think too, as a group, in talking about this, we know that a lot of you have, done your work and are doing your work, but there is the stall, right? There is either that place where, gosh, I can't do any more counseling right now, or I just don't feel like I'm making any progress, or I feel stuck, or if anything, I may feel like I'm going backwards a little bit, but now I don't know what to do. This would be that place where you could get the help, the encouragement, the support, and some very proactive, functional.
Right. These are super practical tools that will be offered. These are things that you can take from the pod and infuse into your daily life, and kind of the support to create those healthier habits, right? Even after doing years of healing work, sometimes that old pattern will show up again. And these are some really practical ways to move out of reaction into intentional action.
And the other piece that I think is so important is, and you mentioned at the beginning, but it is connecting with other souls who are on the healing journey, right? Because so often when we are in recovery of any kind of life experience or wound, we isolate and we don't share it with too many people, if anybody. And it's not that we have to share it, but we can share the journey,
Sure.
right?
And
And that's huge.
and what I love about the way you frame that up is that, you know, we as humans were designed for connection and community. And that's something that we are all missing and longing for. And so we are creating this offering for women wanting to step into a new phase. Maybe they're not even sure what that new phase might look like. Right?
So if the women, how do they know that they would be a part of this?
Sure.
What might they have gone through? What might?
So any child loss, the loss of a spouse or a parent,
Whether that's through death or like,
or even divorce and separation, even, you know, even those go right, exactly.
Disconnection.
Right. He whispered it, but you know, I was thinking of the discernment group, right? Like just how that in itself is a transitional phase, just
and can be traumatized
and can create some big upheavals, you know, the loss of a child, whether through miscarriage, through an illness, or through this epidemic of suicide that our country is experiencing, broken relationships. You know, that's really hard also. Let's see, what else? What else have we been talking about? New medical diagnoses, you know?
And then also those of us or women who have lived with or under the roof of addiction of any kind, right?
Right, and that's a big
Whether
one.
it's childhood, you know, as a child or currently as an adult, that if you've lived under the roof of addiction, it has affected you. And you are in your own recovery from that.
It's true. And possibly you've just noticed your own addiction, right? Like maybe you've just become aware of your workaholism. Maybe you just realized you're addicted to exercise. Maybe you've just realized that you're addicted to trauma, right? Like these relationships keep showing up and they're dysfunctional. Maybe you just realized, oh my gosh, I have lived under this dysfunctional family system my entire life.
And
right?
It's so familiar, it's what I go to.
That's my safe place.
Even though it's not safe.
Even though it's not safe at all, right? It's so true. It's so true. So those are just a few of the situations that would really fit into this women's wellness pod. I'm sure there's others if we keep talking about it.
If you are listening and you're going, I wonder if it fits for me, chances are it does, because it's
so true.
it's resonating for you. Yeah. And then we can kind of move to the third part of today's little episode here is how do you find out more information, right? So let's say we didn't mention somebody or they're not too sure they're a fit. What can they do?
Guys, if you think this might be something for you, this wellness focus, but it's sort of something to bridge the gap in your current care plan, by all means, give us a ring at 337-993-1960. Miss Jane or Miss Emily will be able to help you with those details, and we can even set up a consultation and learn more of the details of what we'll be working through within those 7 sessions.
And then even if Jane or Emily or Megan can't answer the deeper questions, just ask them to get a message to Bridgette but Bridgette, you know, and so again, 337-993-1960. So let's tell them a little bit about the specifics, right?
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, that's going to be on, well, why don't you share the when and I'll do the other pieces.
Okay, so we are going to kind of launch this wellness pod on Monday nights. It'll be from 5 to 6:30, and we're going to start August 29th and roll through September 5th, September 19th, the 26th, October 10th, and then we will round it out with the Lanyap movement session on the 17th
Well,
of
actually,
October.
we're going to do the 17th, and the Lanyap is the 24th.
Oh, look, I didn't read our whole list here.
That's okay.
My bad. But we're going to have a total of 7 sessions. That's the number that's stuck in my head.
Right.
That's 7.
Right.
We're going to have a total of 7 sessions so that we're also making sure that we are moving our body to being open to joy and activating our potential.
Right. And that's going to be again here at the PAX Center.
Yep.
And it's going to be a small pod.
Sure. Yes.
You know, so if you're interested, we really want you to get in on it and call and register. Some of the details also, the PAX Center's on Ridgeway Drive. We'll give you all the specific details, but it's right next to Red Laurel's here in Lafayette. And the cost for this, or should I really say the investment, right?
Right.
It's investing in your wellness in a neat experience is $195 for the 6-week pod, plus the Lanya movement session that will be on October 24th. And the fee includes, you know, a wellness consultation that they can have with you.
That's
that
right.
they will have, right?
They'll have, each participant will have a one-on-one wellness consultation.
And that's with you.
That is with me.
Right.
So this is where the medical nursing model is kind of infused into this wellness pod.
Yeah, because I think what you've always wanted to do is I want to know as much of the whole of
That's
the person,
right.
the medical, the emotional, the relational, you know, so,
That's it.
and then how that'll give you a better way of how to kind of cater to the specific need of each woman.
Yes.
What needs to happen moving forward.
That's right, because each participant will have an individualized approach, right? And that's what that wellness consultation is all about. So if you have ever wondered what this is that a nurse is doing at a counseling service, this is your opportunity, right? This is your opportunity to step in and get the experience of what it's really like to have an integrative model infused into your mental wellness.
Right. So you're going to be the facilitator.
Yep.
You're going to be the guide
there
through this. The rest of us will be here to support you and
That's
the
right.
women through it. So again, this is for women who are 26 and older, who are actively involved in healing and recovery and the working through of life stuff. It's going to be on Monday nights again from 5 to 6:30 beginning August 29th. And we'll really kind of go to the end of October, every other week and all that kind of stuff. We can get you the explicit details later here at the PAX Renewal Center. And again, it's a $195 investment for the 6 weeks of coming together, plus the additional session and the wellness consultation with you. So again, you can get a hold of us by calling
337-993-1960.
Or go to our website, paxrenewalcenter.com, and there's a place where you can reach out to one of us. It'll come to me or it'll go to Bridgette, and we'll get back with you. But please, this is something unique. It's something that we're excited about, and this wellness pod for women who are actively participating in their own healing and recovery is really for you. So what would you like to say as we close this to anyone who's wondering?
So if you are on the fence about how shouldn't I? The answer is yes. Now is the time, right? Now is the time to jump on the opportunity to really invest in yourself and to find community support, right? To find the support that can really sustain you.
Right. Very good. Well, Bridgette, thanks for being with me on this. And again, those of you, please reach out. We'll put the website and the phone number together so that you can reach out. But we've said this a few times. Again, this wellness pod for women is unique, and I think it's going to be a great thing.
I'm excited to experience each and every one that is called to this group. It's going to be great.
So the Lord bless you all, and we will look forward to seeing you at a wellness pod.
That's right. Shalom, y'all. See you soon.